let me just say thanks for coming. I think that probably the week I spent in Fort Collins, Colorado, listening to these people talk was probably one of the most inspiring and refreshing weeks that I've had in a long time. The idea behind this system is that it's simple, it's easy to do, or it's easy not to do. You would have to actually do the activities to make it work. And this is kind of a disclaimer. Their results are an average of 26 plus transactions per agent a year. Their market is very similar to ours, and they've been testing the results since 1994. So, how many years ago was that? 24. Weaver says 24, good. So, the point being that it's not an existence, and it's designed to increase your income per hour. You don't have to work more hours to sell more houses. Increase your income per hour and have a life. So what I'm going to do is start it with an interview of this guy's got a Coldwell Banker office in California, and he's interviewing one of the ninja instructors. So I think you'll learn a lot from that, and then we'll go.
On today's show. Welcome to the show. Today we are here with Peter Parnick.
Can everybody hear it or not?
No.
Okay.
With Ninja. Ninja is the pretty much most cutting edge. Hello, Peter Parnick is here today to talk about.
The little. Well, it's supposed to be over here on this control. There you go. Roll it to the right.
The other one. There you go now. There you go now. Slide it to the right.
A little round thing.
There you go.
Okay, there's
Ninja selling.
She got it.
okay.
On today's show. Welcome to the show. Today we are here with Peter Parnick, Master Ninja Instructor. If you're not familiar with Ninja, Ninja is the pretty much most cutting edge real estate training out there. I know thousands of people that have been through it, so we're lucky to have Peter here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for inviting me. And I just wanted to ask you, what is Ninja all about? Why are people so excited?
You know, we have a phrase at Ninja that says, everybody likes to buy and nobody likes to be sold. And so I've been in the real estate business about 40 years, and I looked through the history of every training I ever went to, and it was always about prospecting, about how to gain customers, how to overcome objections, how to learn new selling techniques. And Ninja really changed the way we look at the whole thing that said, wait a second, if nobody likes to be sold, why do we spend so much time teaching us how to sell? So we have 4 principles at Ninja. The first one is to stop selling and start attracting. The second one is we're going to focus our entire business on building relationships with people that we already know. The third is that we're going to be customer-centric, and the fourth is we're going to pursue a path of personal mastery. And when you really look at that, almost everybody I know who's in sales, especially in real estate sales, really likes the process of helping people sell a house or buy a house, but nobody likes really the idea of, I'm in sales, because I probably have to say that most people don't respond positively to the term salesperson or pitch man or any of that. So what Larry Kendall, who designed the program, realized is, wait a second, if we could make a system where people don't have to do something that fundamentally makes them uncomfortable, which also makes the people that they deal with uncomfortable, we'd be onto something. And the reason our adoption is so spectacular is that when you start to learn the system, you go, wait, I'm not doing that thing that I don't like, and I'm not doing that thing that customers don't like, which makes it really user-friendly.
Okay, so I always like to say, and I don't know if we're on the same track here, but I always like to say there's 3 important things, right? Leads, leads, and leads. So how does the Ninja system help you develop leads? I mean, it's completely different than purchasing leads and all that stuff, right? Like, what is the lead generation tools all about?
Well, our belief is that people like to do business with people they know, like, and trust. That right now, especially in 2018, everything is about, if I have a need for anything, I go to my friends first. And I say, who would you use? Who would you use? In the real estate business, it could be as simple as, I've got a closing coming up and I've got a hot water heater that needs to be replaced. Who do you know that can do it fast and at a proper value? Well, what we realize is that the people that are best prospects for us are the people we know. And there's this really interesting thing that happens with realtors, is that we forget that the 200 people we know are really our best source of business. And here's an amazing statistic we just heard from Harris Interactive, that each person that I know is relatively close to 4 people who will need a realtor this year. So if I'm connected at a real level, and we're going to really differentiate between superficial connection and real connection, if I'm connected to 200 people, they are connected to 800 people this year who will probably do some sort of a real estate transaction. Buy a new house, sell a new house, buy a rental, sell a rental, any of those things. So our whole focus, it's our number 2 principle, is we have a business strategy of focusing on people that we already know. And that and then we have a whole day-long process about how we stay literally in flow with those people. And if you can have a process and a system to stay in flow with them, we say you're going to have an overflow of clients coming towards you, frankly, more business than you can handle if you follow a process and a system to cultivate and maintain those relationships. As we say, one calendar sent on January 1st a year does not a relationship make.
I agree. So that being the case, let me ask you this. So notoriously, when people start new in the business, they always tell me, well, I don't want to bug my friends and I don't want to bug my family. How do you feel about that?
Well, we believe that sentiment is correct. So the core ninja principle is, how do I create value for people? We believe that people will pay money for 2 things, either to solve a problem or create pleasure. And that money flows to value, so that the whole core principle of Ninja is how can we create significant value for the people that we know, so they come to us rather than I chase them. Your key word was bug. Well, if you are chasing people and asking them for business all the time, that is not creating value for them. It's really all about me. And so in our customer-centric module, we recognize that if I can create value on literally a weekly or a monthly basis for the people that I know, they will naturally seek me and I will never be prospecting. We have something called the pursuer distancer dance. When people are chased, what do they naturally do? They run away. And so all of the training I had for 40 years was prospecting. Well, prospecting is just a code word for chasing. And so when you chase people, they run away. I don't feel good as the chaser, and certainly our customers don't. So the idea is to focus on a system and a process of creating value so they seek us.
I like it. So another reason that I think people get into real estate, and they're always in for the surprise. So of course, friends and family and engaging them and building a relationship is important, and being willing to get that support. But also, I'm finding that a lot of people are they get a little disenchanted with the business because they realize somebody's advising them that they need to go knock doors, or they need to cold call, or they need to buy leads. This is pretty much the opposite of that, right?
It's completely the opposite of it. As a matter of fact, one of our beliefs is that when you are your best authentic self, it's when you are your most attractive. So we like to say that every training I ever went to, they said, well, there's one of the big training platforms in the country says, you have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And you've got to get out of your comfort zone. Well, my experience is every time I'm forced out of my comfort zone, I will naturally revert to it in 2 or 3 days. So you go to a training, you hear all this stuff, and you go, I don't really want to do that, but I guess to be successful, I'm going to have to.
Door knocking.
All the things you just mentioned. You try it for about 4 days, and you go, I hate this. And that's when that moment comes where you go, if this is what's required to do this business, I'm tapping out right now. And which is why we have this gigantic revolving door in our industry, because really what we've been teaching people is unpalatable. And so we completely disagree with the notion of you have to get out of your comfort zone. At Ninja, we say, let's get more into our comfort zone, because when you are your best authentic self and creating meaningful value for people, you don't have to knock doors. You don't have to do those cold prospecting techniques that really turn us all off to the business.
I'm actually happy to hear that, because for me, like as a broker, sometimes I've talked to my clients, and I did have an agent leave because they said I did not push them into that uncomfortable zone enough. I wasn't forcing them to go knock doors and do that, but I always felt that if they're doing the things that they love, which is we're in the people business, and if they're making people happy and building relationships, then they're going to be more successful.
Adding value.
And so it's refreshing to hear that. So I mean, one of the coolest things about Ninja, and I just want to let you know, I've had multiple agents go through. My number one agents in 2 of my offices, 4 days long, correct? And both of them said, and they're over 300,000, you know, I mean, great agents, tons of kids, I mean, they do it all. And they said that they, not for one second wished it was over. They just said it could have kept going and going and going, because they learned so much. And ever since then, their businesses have flourished. I mean, and they told me that Ninja has actually increased their business, they estimate about 30%. And doing it the right way. They're happy with themselves, they're balanced. So that's why I'm so happy you're here. And it's refreshing to hear that you don't have to knock doors, you don't have to make cold calls, you don't have to buy leads if you set your business up right. Now, is this setup good for somebody that's new, for the medium agent, or for the top producer? Like, in your opinion, who's the best served by Ninja?
I'll give you the start of our concept here is that the real estate business can be really consumptive. It can, I call it sometimes an oil spill. It can coat your life. But instead of living to work, at Ninja our goal is to work to live, to fund your passion. Our core phrase is, let's increase your income per hour so you can have a life. So let's go through the gamut of, I know one person who went through it 3 months before they got their license. And they said, that was really great because I could digest it without the pressure of getting my passing test. When I saw it, I said to my now former partner, Mike Carter, if we had just known this from the beginning. So we think it's fabulous if you're 1 to 6 months in, because you have a system and a way to do it. And then for the $1 million GCI, not $1 million producers, but the guys doing 40, 50 million, it finally is a sane way to do it. So you're not working 24/7, 365, 20 years, and you go, man, I made a lot of money, but I forgot my kids' names. And so it is, in this range, it's ideal for wherever you are in your career progression.
So that being the case, because how many agents do we get that are new and they show up, they've got their phone, they're ready to go, they show up at their desk, they quit their jobs, they're ready to roll, and then they get to the office the first day and they're lost. So you kind of give them a framework of how to build a business that gives you a balanced life, that builds relationships and is rewarding.
Well, where we really focus, and this is where the aha came for me, is the industry turns out this scads of what we call on-accident realtors. You get a real estate license, you learn nothing about how to be a realtor. Hopefully you go to a training company, but as we know, about 3/4 of the agents don't. And then they're deer in the headlights. And even at a great training company, what we realized at Maker Legacy, we give them snippets. And we have a big training program, but what Ninja did for me and why we've adopted it is it gives you a total process every day, so you know what to do, how to do it, and the mystery's gone. The mystery's gone, so that it's like, what do I do on Tuesday? Well, follow the Ninja 9, do this, and then it's so relieving not to be panicking.
Okay, so let me ask you this, just because this is big. I mean, the fact of knowing what to do and having a business plan, that's what it's all about, right? So how long would you say the techniques and things that you train, how much effort does it require every day in terms of the actions they need to do to keep the system going? I mean, it's probably minimal, right?
Well, the thing that's so cool, we say it's easy to do and it's easy not to do. I don't know if you've ever read The Slight Edge, one of my favorite books of all time. The cool thing about our system, it's totally user-friendly. It's user-friendly for the agent, and it's user-friendly for the customer. The problem with things that are easy to do, they're also easy not to do. But the reason we're so successful amongst all the training programs in the country is, it's like, I can do that. I can do that. When we finish 4 days and I recap and I go, is there anything we suggested you do here? Wait, let's see. Be good to your customers. have a system, stay in touch with them by adding value and never asking them for business. We have scrubbed out any request for business. It's so counterintuitive because the thing that turns a great conversation in, right at the end, now Chuck, I said, oh, by the way, you know anybody that's thinking of buying or selling? It would take a wonderful interaction and turn it into a pitch. And so we've removed all that stuff because in 2018, we believe that everybody knows how the world goes around and works. So that if you have created value for me, I naturally have that quid pro quo response of, here, let me help you out. And so the great part about it is, it only takes the consistency of focus, not the consistency of moving out of your comfort zone. So our results are spectacular. On average, the goal of Ninja Selling is to have you 20% up above the market. So if the market's up 20, you're up 40. We're on average up between 29 and 40% above the market, right? Because it's easy to do.
Right, and that is true, and I know you did a big event down in San Diego, and that company has actually truly taken off since you were there, and they credit Ninja. So anyways, okay, so someone, a broker, an agent that's interested in getting involved or getting out and maybe attending one of the events, how should they go about that?
Two ways to do it. We like to do it at a company, which is really great because then you have people that are similar, but we have events going on all over the country. If you go to ninjaselling.com, click on events, you can see where they are. Some are obviously called a banker, some aren't. But just sign up and you show up and it's really simple.
Okay, sounds good. Ninjaselling.com, events calendar, and now if somebody is not with a company that's doing this, there's plenty of opportunities though for the individual company.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
The cool thing is, like I said, for us, my people are super excited. I know for Coldwell Banker West, they have taken off like rockets.
Yep.
Everybody's been through it down there. I mean, probably over 100 and something people.
Yeah.
And they live and die by it. So, Peter, thank you very much for coming. And I'm super excited. Ninjaselling.com. And if there's any way that you're interested in doing it, go to ninjaselling.com, hit the events button. Peter Parning is the best speaker. I'm telling you, I went to your stuff. He totally keeps you captivated and will transfer your business like that. So thanks, Peter, for coming. I really appreciate it.
Chuck, thank you for the time. Have
All right, so what's the deal with the blue?
It is a Buddhist monk.
I don't know. Lodge sale? I don't know. Okay, so what comments do you have from that? What's an observation?
They knocked Brian Buffini.
They what?
Knocked Brian Buffini.
Oh, is that where that came
Oh,
from?
by the way.
I was afraid it might have been Keller Williams.
By the way,
Okay, what else?
I'm interested. I want to hear more.
Okay. Well, what I did on the first page of your handout, in your book, that little blue thing right there, if you can type it all in, is the link to the video, so you can watch it again. Okay? And what the office is going to do, and I'll be the one facilitating it, is we will have the training. By the training, you can come and attend, and there'll probably be 3 meetings a week at the most, and as long as you're committed to doing the activities, because it won't do you any good if you don't decide to do the activities. One of the other really cool things about this program is that they have incorporated the brain science that has been discovered in the past probably 15 years now. So there's a reason behind every activity. There's a reason behind how your behavior should be in a meeting. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we don't even think about. Let me give you an example. If you were meeting someone, let's say Roxanne says, Brenda, you have a guest in the lobby. There are certain ways that would be more effective for you to meet that guest. You would, according to the science that's out there, you'd go to the lobby, you would greet them, and then you would take them out of that space into another office to actually have your meeting. And that's because of the energy levels that are out there. a lot of this energy discussion will be, for those of you who have been to Bold, it will be very similar, the energy discussions. And I'm not saying don't go to Bold, because I think it's amazing also. However, there are some similarities. And so, anyway, if you go, the first page has got your list of calls in here and the contents. Then we have Why Ninja, and we're just gonna cover a little bit of that, but we'll have let's talk about why you might choose not to do this. Have you thought about why you might choose not to?
No, why would you not?
Well, they've done a little study, the people who have started it and then not done it because TSW, the system works, or this stuff works, or however you want to say it. Generally, it's fear. Like, can I really have those conversations? Do I really want to be around people? I mean, that could be one.
Resisting change.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. But those are generally, then there's a few people who have analyzed it and it's not something they're interested in. So, but you need to decide yay or nay and then make a commitment. We're going to cover the 4 principles. If you go towards the bottom of the first page, there's 2 principles. Personal mastery, that'll be next Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. Then the next week we'll do stop selling and start solving. And the 3rd week we'll do ninja business strategy. And then the 4th week we'll talk about the communication skills. And what I would say to you is we're going to repeat those each month. So if you should happen to have to miss one, you can pick it up the next month, okay? Wednesday at 9 o'clock for August, and a lot of that has to do with bowl going on too.
So this is just a 4-week program?
No, it's the rest of your life program.
Well, yeah, but I know the actual classes, because then the next
No.
month it repeats itself. Or
No,
it's gonna be continuing?
just these 4 classes will repeat.
Okay.
And then we'll go into skills groups where there's 16 basic skills groups. So that, and I'll touch on something else in a little bit. Let's take turn. Let's start with Weaver. We're going to read one of these 12 items at a time. What is a ninja? These are the characteristics. If you follow this program and you have the results that thousands of other people have. So what's the first one?
Seems to sell real estate without effort, have fun, and makes it fun.
Okay, 2.
Has great customer satisfaction.
Okay, Michael?
Obtains most of their business from people they know.
That doesn't say 100%, but most of it. Teresa? Oh, dear.
Seldom talks, except when I ask the question. He's a great listener, but I am a great listener.
Okay, so you're going to be struggling with that one.
Well, it works for me.
Okay, Deb.
Knows her market and their customers better than anyone.
Okay,
Is a master salesperson with subtle and user-friendly sales skills.
okay,
Is committed to mastery and self-improvement, a student of the game.
okay.
Focuses on what works and practices the 80-20 principle.
Okay.
Has a very high income per hour and a high net worth.
Now, we're going to talk about net worth along the way too, because what's the point in doing all this if you don't learn to invest and get ready to retire at some point? Peter?
Sales systems and routines that produce consistent results.
Okay,
Provide services that is relevant, customized, differentiated, and value-added.
okay,
Has a positive attitude and is outside of real estate.
okay. Matthew, read that final paragraph.
This program has the power to help you make more money in your career. Most importantly, it will change your life. It will alter your ability to connect deeply and honestly with the people in your work and to be the best you can be. You will find the key to unlock the best of you in Ninja.
All right, it's about having a life. You know, he asked the question about how much time in the day does it take to do this. Next page is a proposed calendar, a daily calendar. Those are the things, they include the Ninja 9 activities he talked about, which we would get into later. But here's how your day could look. What do you see on there that looks interesting?
There's nothing on,
There we go.
there's nothing on the weekend except for open house. So they just leave that open because that's your available hours?
Good. It's gonna be your call, because you've got lots of time during the week to do.
They're only working in the morning, it looks like.
Well, until, yeah, kind of, and you're gonna be making your calls, because you would have 50, get this, 50 voice-to-voice conversations. That doesn't mean text them, it doesn't mean leave them a voicemail, it means you really, honest to Pete, talk to them, or face-to-face. And in those 50, you would also include the people that you're doing a transaction with that maybe you needed to talk to, but you're having a significant conversation, and we'll talk about that later on. Okay, so the next page is the office training calendar. You can see what's on there. And because they don't print off so well, the next page would be the Ninja activities for August. Okay? Now, again, we're working around the bold schedules, so those of you who are going to bold, we don't want to do anything to harm that, okay?
These are all in office meetings.
Yes. Okay, any questions about what the activities are?
Fun groups.
Want to know what a fun group is?
Yeah.
Okay. Any guesses? It's A, it's, oh, it's AM. Jennifer won't be here for that, right? No, she's not our early bird. Any idea? Okay, it's where we're gonna go over, let's talk about a concept. You know about lag measures and lead measures? Have you ever thought about that? Okay. An example in real estate of a lag measure would be the sale of a listing. Okay, that's something that comes from work that you did previously. Okay? A lead measure is an activity that's going to predict your results down the road. So activities that would be lead measures would be those phone calls, face-to-faces. They would be real estate reviews, and we'll talk about that more later. They would be writing your notes, 2 notes a day. They would be doing your affirmations, things like that. Let me show you something. This is the Ninja Planner. So what you do is you keep your records, and then, there's that many pages for a week, but in the fun group, we will have prizes, maybe the most notes sent, the most face-to-face visits for the week. You'll have your records, because we'll keep up with Planner. And what their theory is that if you're worried about how your production is, go back to your Planner and see what you've been doing. Because if you're doing the activities, you will have the results, no question. So we just have to tweak a few things in what you're doing. So, fun groups. In other worlds, they're called accountability groups, but we're not going to be chewing anybody out, okay? We're going to be having fun. Okay, 16 skill groups. Those are the topics. Look at that for a second and see if you have any questions about that. We're also going to be doing things like how to build your database, because that will be very important in this. Okay, the next page is scorecard. Your weekly scorecard. Those are the things that you would do each week. Now, go to the agreement of action, and let's talk about that. The Ninja 9 that he talked about and that are these activities right here. And those are what the fun group will talk about. What was your best experience with a face-to-face visit? What was your best experience with a real estate review? How many of you were just in Jennifer's class? Do you think you could do a real estate review with a friend now? Get their house information and go talk to them about what the property's worth? Probably could, couldn't you? And feel comfortable about it. So, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just talking to somebody about real estate. And you do 2 of those a week. Okay? Those are probably your best listing generation tools of all the activities that you can do. So we'll talk about that later on. Okay, next page, what the market center is going to do. Let's talk. Oh, and you probably, the most successful agents in their program have 18 open houses a year. So what's that, 1.5 a month? However that figures out. Not much, but that's where you're going to meet more people and continue to build your database. Okay, so the Market Center is going to provide the training materials. A lot of it is simply facilitation and practice. So it's pretty easy. And what you would need to do would be, we'll provide the marketing materials or we'll provide the design for them. And you will need to come up with a database to start with of 100 people that you know, that you like, that you would actually make a phone call to, and if you called them, they would know who you were. 100 people, not a big deal. So then there is no commission split to do this, but we do need you to buy the materials. And so the cost, now, oh, and let me tell you one more thing. Jennifer's already ordered 10 sets of books and manuals. We have those in stock. And what we're gonna do until the end of the year is we will make copies of this planner because it's already basically August. So you don't have to buy a planner, but when you do buy it, it will be for 2019. Okay, so that's part of that. And then the other cost is your marketing, and that would run about $1. It's really $1.26 at this point for 3 mail-outs, actual mail-outs per month to your database. So 150 a month, 125 to 150. Pardon? What this will be is one they call art and one they call science. And so it's a big postcard. I'll show you. Let me show you next set.
Art and science.
Art and science, and then there's also a newsletter with all the statistics in it.
Goes out twice a month.
Pardon? No, it's on the other screen, just well, it's this other okay, so here's an example. This is a template already. That was done by a project manager in Round Rock. And it would be I guess 4 pages, if I'm not mistaken, but it will have our local statistics in it. There also would be one for Huntsville or Walker County, so that you can pick whichever version you want, and your personal information would be on it. That's one of the mail outs. Then there's a postcard that's art, and okay, so this is an example of a local artist over there, and then the back of the postcard would be events and activities for the next couple months in the area. Then the science postcard will be back to statistics, what's the market doing, that kind of thing. So those are the 3 mail outs, and they would be, you provide us, or Minuteman, your list of 100 people, or 150, 200, whatever you want to do, and it goes out automatically. You don't have to worry about that. That's called auto flow. And then our goal is for you to be in flow with the people personally. Okay, oh, and if you don't have enough people in your database, our goal would be for you to add a couple a day. And within a year, you're going to have everything you need. Now, let me give you another number. What they know from their performance throughout the United States is that basically, when you do these activities, when you totally participate, you can expect about $1,000 income per household in your database. So let's say you have 100 people, you're looking at around $100,000. You have 200 people that you do this with, and you're looking at a couple $100,000. That's statistically what the results have been. Okay? Okay, next set of pages is some stuff for you to think about, what you would, what's important in your life, and how you want your business to look. Okay, so it's like 5 or 6 pages. And if you look at this page, it's got the Ninja 9 activities on it written out, so you can see it easily. Those are the activities that you do consistently. Okay. Then we're also going to focus on mastery. You guys can't imagine some of the phone calls I get sometimes from agents in other offices talking about how untrained we are at times. And so the goal is going to be for you to truly be a master of what you're doing for a living. And we will keep working on mastery. Let's get past what the average realtor does and go towards what a really great one does. Okay, next 3 pages, a list of where you can get people for your database, just a memory jogger, okay? So that you get to that 100 people to start with. Any questions? Yes.
So, I guess it's my question. What if, because they said not to be sold, what if for my age group, for millennials who do not like and would not enjoy being on a phone call, would you still, would you call a millennial or would you text them? And count that as your 12?
I'll say that, because I have some buyers that will, and they're millennials, will never pick up the phone, and they want to be.
Yeah,
I call, leave a message, and I text.
Okay, so who's an expert with millennials?
Hey, I saw someone my age that said it. Why are people still calling me?
Right. Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think that that's everybody, or do you think that you know people that would be delighted, like your grandmother?
Well, yeah, I just meant people who you know.
But seriously, this program is designed to build relationships. And I think what you'd be shocked at is maybe the hunger by lots of millennials to really have a relationship. I watched a video this morning on YouTube by a guy named Sean Aker from Waco, who was at Harvard Business School and is now in Stanford. And he was talking about dealing with millennials. And what he said was that, first of all, our parenting is what's created a lot of this issue, because we handed them the iPhone, we handed them the iPad, all of that. We didn't engage at the right level. So I would suspect that there actually are going to be some millennials, that would be tickled having a good relationship. It reduces stress. It does all sorts of things, in your to your body physiologically. So you just have to try it and see.
Well, if you provide them something of value and just give it a deal, they'll call. Because they want that value.
Well, millennials are buying houses,
Yeah.
so I think you give them, you're right, give them information that would be valuable, because they're very careful about not wasting money, things like that. So I think if you think about we can do some research on what millennials would.
So would it be best to send an email or a text with value and then call?
Maybe, I don't know. We'll
I
do
feel like
some
if you
research
call
on it.
first, they're gonna.
Well, I think it also depends, like with the program, what it sounds like is you're not trying to sell them.
Right.
So like millennials, for example, we see in droves are now buying houses around their dogs or their animals.
Right.
So if you know like their dog was just in the vet, or they just put their dog back when they were on a trip, I think if you're authentically like calling you and saying, hey, I'm on my way to an appointment, I wanted to see how Fluffy was doing, they may make a point to call you because that's high on their rank of need and desire. And if they don't answer, I think it's cool when you do send a text and send the dog emoji or an email. But I think it's trying to get you out of your comfort zone, because you're not selling them, you're trying to build that value and relationship.
Okay.
I think it seems to me though, I've existed on text, and there are a handful of people I call, but starting this off, that first phone call out of nowhere, it's gonna seem really
That's what we're
strange
gonna
and
do.
suspicious.
Okay, well.
Chrissy says all of them know I just started real estate.
Melissa?
Okay, look, I was
There you go.
I was out for a year and a half, 2 years with my son, after my son was born. So I just came back about 6 months ago, and we read the 7 levels of communication, which is a lot like this. And so y'all said you gotta call your old closings, call them. And I was like, they haven't heard from me for like 3 years. Like this is gonna. I was so nervous to do that, but I made myself do it. I called. Most of them didn't answer the phone. I left a voicemail. Hey, call and say hi. Let you know I'm back from my long maternity leave. Kind of made it kind of funny, and just wanted to check on you and see how things are going. And every single one of them either called me back or shot me a text or emailed me. It's so good to hear from you. It's been a while. We're great. We still love our home. Blah, blah, blah. I was all like freaked out for absolutely no reason, because I had made a relationship with them. And, they knew that I was gone for a little while, but no one said anything like,
3 years,
just
what are
calling
you
me?
doing calling me?
Right, why are you calling me? They're just like, oh my gosh, we were just talking about you the other day, or something like that. So, yeah.
They do. You're so delightful.
Okay, so obviously, we would love to have you participate in the program. It's your call, and we will be back here Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock, talking about mindset and mastery. Then on Thursday, we'll talk about how to make those phone calls and make them sound, you know what, guys? I grew up on a ranch 19 miles out in the country. We didn't go to town except when I went to school, that kind of thing. I didn't have any neighbors. You know, I could have been the biggest introvert in the world. And what I learned is that you can step out of that shyness or whatever it is when you really care about how people are and how they feel and what's going on with them, and your dad's going to the doctor and I hope he's going to be okay. And, you know, when you really care about those things, it comes across. And so just think about the fact that you're giving and helping other people, and that's way more important than how you feel about it. Okay? Before we go to lunch, we have 2 sponsors for lunch, and it looks like a lot of food back there. That's Cecil. You guys know Cecil. Our sponsors are Donna with Texas Homeland and the mortgage company we have in the office, Gateway. And you guys can stand up. They're also going to be participating in Ninja. They've gotten the books, and it works in mortgage too. So the other thing is, before you go, I want you all to pull out your cell phones. Earl?
I'm trying to connect to you.
What?
I was gonna show, I was trying to.
Okay, so, don't, Anna, you can also, there we go. I'm not doing,
Okay, first of all, who has Kelly? How many people are? Now, you have it installed and you're using it.
I haven't.
I was gonna say, it's only 26.79% of the agents in our office have Kelly. We have 123 agents in the office that are not using it. And our highest person with that, with interactions is in the room, that's Donna Stewart, 299.
that's Dory. Okay, so tell us what you do with Kelly.
I use the referral network more than anything with the agents. I'm probably working right now currently 4 referrals from outside, with Keller Williams agents right now.
Okay, that's the big deal about Kelly. If you want to build your business, it's referrals from other parts of the country. So we're going to install it, and we're going to talk about how to get referrals.
Okay, I was gonna get for some reason my battery keeps dying today. I'm down like 12% again. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get the app. And there's a couple ways to do it, but usually the easiest way is to either go, if you have an Android, to the Play Store, or if you have an Apple, go to your App Store. And you're gonna type in the App Store, you're gonna type K-E-L-L-E. That's how you spell Kelly. Anyway, it's a blue KW, or a blue box with a white KW in it, and it's Kelly app, and I don't think there's anything else that comes up when you type Kelly and it has a KW app, but that's gonna be what you're gonna download and install.
And what is it in the Android?
It's gonna be the same.
K-E-L-L-E.
And it should be a Keller Williams app, and there should be.
So which one is it? There's like Keller and Oval, Keller and Blue Book.
It looks like this.
Are you like to take
It's gonna
Okay, everybody got it downloaded? Everybody blue. You got it?
username and password.
Yeah, it's gonna be your change it log in, because once you use the log in to.
Nancy, you have it? Hofstra Health Group, you have it?
Yes.
Mine's just
Chad's telling us that we have to. So everybody got it? We're good. It's still loading. Okay.
I told her this.
Yes.
You have it?
It's
Okay, guys.
It can be also your and the password that you log into.
I tried to sign in.
Okay, can everybody get in the app? Can you get into the app? Okay, so, how are you gonna use this? Let's think about that. What if, where did you grow up?
Deer Park.
Okay, so do you know any Keller Williams agents in Deer Park? Okay, so what if you go in there and look, because do you still have family there? Okay. Well, you're not gonna find any of those, never mind. Okay, Matthew, same thing with you. Dee Dee, where did you grow up?
Conroe.
Oh, okay, so who moved
Might be
here
one or
from
two.
somewhere? Okay, Amanda.
Bradley, Illinois.
Okay, so think about this, guys. Anywhere that you know people, like for me it would be Amarillo, Panhandle, all that kind of stuff. Why wouldn't you go ahead and locate somebody there and ask them to join your referral network? Because you're probably going to have business there at some point. Now, where did your referrals come from?
Dallas,
Okay.
Arlington, up by Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Okay.
I'm working one right now. And I'm trying to think, there was another state.
Okay.
Most of them, the Arlington, Fayetteville area, all that, right now I'm working.
Okay, so the point is that this is a good way to generate additional business. So don't worry about getting too many of them. Accept them, and when they decide they need somebody to talk to, you may be the lucky one. Do you have any idea, Donna, total income? Let's say you close these 4 people.
Oh, I have to go back and figure it out. One was a $410,000 listing.
Okay, and let's think about that. If our average commission is $8,000, is that still correct, Dan?
Yeah.
Around 8,000?
I mean, I say, we did 7,500 at team meeting the other day. I'm conservative, so I say 6, but.
Okay, so if you
So you say
had,
6.
if you had 4 transactions that you closed, and that's the average commission, you've way more than paid your cap for the year. Think about that. You could be working here free, just with these referrals.